Right before we started this interview right here, you just said that your leg's hurting you. What happened? Is that from the fight?
Yeah, I did a lot of leg conditioning for this fight because I knew he's got good leg kicks. So I really thought I wasn't too worried about it. And he hit me with 2 leg kicks, and I'm hurting. So I'm glad I didn't let him get back on his feet in that second round because he's got some mean leg kicks.
Did the plan go to kind of as you thought it would? Was that the game plan?
Pretty much. I knew he moves really well. He's long, and he's a very fast striker. So I knew I was going to have to chase him down. I knew it was going to take a lot of work to get to him. And that's what happened. He kept moving on the cage, and I just kept telling myself, take your time. I expected this. He was tagging me every now and then. I was getting in, throwing, and I felt like I could stand in there, but he was getting the better of the exchanges for sure. So I knew it was just a matter of time till I get his mind off that takedown, and then I'm going to put him on his back, and that's what happened.
When you took his back, were you aware of how much time was left in the round? Were you conscious of that? Did you feel like that you were in a rush to get him?
Yeah, he gets up really well. I've watched some of his last fights. He's really hard to hold down. So my game plan was really to kind of stretch him out in half guard and do a little damage there and wear him down. And I heard somebody scream short time. So, I knew, okay, I got to start doing damage now. I can't just lay here anymore. And so I postured up, throw some big punches. And as he turned to get up, it really was, what I was looking for. It gave me a chance to take his back. And once I got there, I just knew I got about a minute. I got to finish this in this time. And by the time I had the choke, I was rolled where I could see the clock. So, I gave it a little extra oomph to get that arm under there and make sure I got that finish.
First round win tonight, bouncing back from the loss to Rafael Lovato Jr., who's looking at a title shot in January. Where does this put you in the division? Where do you think you are?
I think that I should have been the guy to get the title shot for quite some time. And then Rafael comes in, and that guy's just a monster, and I think we had a great fight. I think it was back and forth, and, he got the better of me in that third round. And, I'm glad he's getting that title shot because it's well-deserved. But I think, after he gets this title shot, I think I'm right there. I probably need to get one more win, coming back from that loss. But I'm right there in the top of the division. And I think, there's about 3 or 4 of us right there that are all kind of teetering together.
Is there a name that makes sense for you?
I've got stuff in mind, but I think most of the top guys in the division have fights lined up right now, So, you got, the title fight lined up. You've got Carvalho and Machida lined up, So I think the 5 of us are really the guys to beat in this division. So right now, everybody's tied up. I'm just going to get through Christmas, enjoy myself, and then beginning of the year, really start looking at what makes sense and try to get back in the cage soon.
John, congratulations on a big win tonight. You talked about in your post-fight interview about, the difficulty that Chitty was going to have switching from a guy like a Melvin Manhoef into you, southpaw wrestler. Would a fight with maybe a Melvin Manhoef potentially make sense if that title shot isn't lined up for you next?
Yeah, I'd definitely like to fight Manhoef. That guy's a legend. I remember when I first getting into MMA, watching that guy and just, thinking how awesome he was. So that's a fight that I'd definitely be interested in. There's nobody that want to tune in to watch Manhoef,
And you touched on Carvalho and Machida getting ready to run it up in Hawaii here in a few weeks. Give me maybe a couple thoughts that you have on that matchup, and is that a fight, per se, the winner of that might make sense for you?
Yeah, that's a fight. I've gone back and forth in my head a lot on who I think is going to win that. Machida's obviously the slick guy. He's been the UFC champ. He knows how to win everywhere. But then you got a guy like Carvalho that's so long. He's getting better every fight. I know we've had our running our mouth back and forth online. Just, I was wanting that title shot, nothing personal. But the guy gets better every single fight you see him. So I think that's going to be a good fight. And, I think me fighting the winner of that would make a lot of sense.
As previously alluded to, the leg be bothering you a little bit just from standing up with Chitty a little bit. How soon do you think it's going to be until you want to get back in there? You want to get some rest, maybe train a little bit more, or are you trying to stay active?
I'm always looking to stay active, but I fought twice, twice in about 3 months. So I want to get through the holidays, get through the SEC championship game tomorrow, enjoy myself with some food, and then get through Christmas, enjoy myself with the family, and then, ready to get right back into a training camp when that's over. So whenever that makes sense for Bellator and for me, I'm ready to go.
Last question for me. You seem like you're a Roll Tide guy. I'm from the great state here in Oklahoma. We got that matchup potentially lined up for the college football playoff. Might have to have a little bit of a wager on that, man. Oklahoma, Alabama. What do you think?
I'll take it. Oklahoma's got a scary offense, but defense wins championships.
Sounds good.
Congratulations on the big win here tonight. This was your first Bellator main event, I believe. Did this feel any different going into the fight?
Being the main event was cool, and it was a little different, but I'll tell you, it's kind of humbling to see some of these guys that even on the undercard, like Sean Bunch, Joe Warren, guys that I've been watching forever. Sean Bunch is qualifying the U.S. weight class in the Olympics. Like that guy's just he's unreal. And, see some of these guys on the undercard, this was probably one of the best cards I've ever seen top to bottom. And to be the main event of that, it was really something special, and it means a lot to me.
And you took this fight on pretty short notice. How ready were you prior to taking the fight?
I only fought once this year before this because of an eye surgery, and so I wanted to get back in there quick or before the end of the year, and it started looking like it wasn't going to be a possibility. So I kind of just put it out of my mind. Okay, I'm not going to get a fight, but luckily one of my training partners, Joe Selecki, he had a fight coming up, so I was doing hill sprints with him. Just a body to be there, helping him, push him through those cardios. So I was in pretty good shape, and when I got the call. Some things I'm drinking a Mountain Dew and I get the call and I'm like, well, put that down. Guess it's time to start getting ready for this fight. So I was in pretty good shape, and 5 weeks is a little shorter than what I would normally like, but it was enough time to be ready.
Being that you've been in the cage with Lovato, how do you see the Mousasi-Lovato title fight playing out?
Man, that's that's another one that it's hard for me to really give an idea because Mousasi is such a veteran. He finds ways to win, and I think he's probably got the better stand-up. But Lovato is long and he's tricky, and I hit him pretty hard, and he doesn't go down. He's a tough guy. And then on the ground, not only is he a world champion, just one of the best jiu-jitsu guys ever, but he's 6'4". Where I was getting ready for him. I'm training with Lucas Lepre, who is 7-time world champ. But Lucas Lepre's not 6'4". It's just so hard to prepare for. So when it goes to the ground, that's territory you can't be prepared for.
And last question, did you know that when you accepted the fight that your style was going to mix really well with Chidi's, being that he's primarily a striker?
I felt confident. I knew he's going to be working really hard to not get taken down. So, I knew he's going to be moving a lot, waiting for me to shoot, trying to hurt me. I was pretty aware of that, so I knew, okay, I got to be ready to go out there and stand with him for a little bit just to threaten him some, so he's not just, make him respect my stand-up enough that I can put him on his back. But I knew if I could do that, then it was going to be a good fight for me.